Hello, and welcome to the post-match pint with Keane and Paddy, where we talk football and beer for you to hear. Now then, today's episode will consist of Matchday to review, so all the games, including the England game. It'll be the madness that happened in Group F last night. We'll also discuss the round of 16 and England's chances of winning. So now, our guest today is Dylan Rowson. Dylan,
Welcome to the show, my friend.
Welcome to the show. How's it going?
Not too bad.
Nice to hear. What beer have you bought for us?
So, I've got a fruity Belgian beer for you.
Fruity, you even wrapped it up.
it's
Wrapped up and everything. Look at that.
There you go.
How do you pronounce that, mate?
I think it's Bacchus.
Yeah, that sounds about right, I suppose.
Whatever. Where's you supposed to buy this, mate?
Jesus. That's off the back of a van or something.
Cherry beer. 6%.
Doesn't smell too bad.
I rate this. No offence to Josh. What Peroni last week?
Yeah.
Everyone knows what Peroni is.
Everyone knows what Peroni. Peroni's basic.
You just drank it without cheersing us. Cheers,
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh,
sorry.
Cheers, Keane.
Yeah, cheers.
Sorry,
No, cheers, Neil. Nice one. Sweet.
I don't mind cherry.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's sweet.
I don't know what to think of that.
I quite like cherry. So
The look of
to
it.
me
The
is-
look of it with the bottle. The fact that it's quite dark. Well, that's my sunglasses. I don't know.
No, it's quite dark.
It is
It's
dark.
quite
It's a
dark.
dark.
Doesn't taste like beer. It does a
No,
little
it's
bit.
really weird. I don't know.
We'll come back to that.
We will come back to
when
that.
we've gone through all of it.
Okay. Yeah, we'll come back to
So,
that.
shall we start with the England game?
We'll start with the England game, yeah. Good result, I suppose, in the end. We won.
Top of the group.
Top of the group. Not a bad performance, not the best performance. Dylan, give us your thoughts.
First thing, I've been very critical of him, but I think Luke Shaw had a brilliant game.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was good.
Yeah.
Probably, for me, one of the best players on the pitch.
I would say so, yeah. I'd say in company with Saka.
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
both the full-backs or wing-backs, whatever they were operating as.
I think Maguire was good again.
Were good.
Yeah,
Maguire
true.
was good, yeah.
I think it's a difficult one, but I still don't think we've got exactly the team that we need going into the 16.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I'm not sure if that's a shape change or personnel change, but it just doesn't feel like it's clicked
I think
completely.
it was better, but it wasn't there.
Yeah.
We've put a step in the right direction. I hope he doesn't revert back to what it was for Scotland and Croatia. I mean, that game to me possibly shows you that Mount is not as needed. I don't know. Maybe. Well, I suppose you'll want to play one of Mount or Foden.
Yeah.
You won't want to leave both of them out. But I think. I mean, I remember thinking it. For me, it would be Foden ahead of Mount. Because I think he would just add a bit more attacking. I don't know.
It's just out of interest. Is Mount definitely available for the?
Well, we don't know.
we don't know.
I
I think it's going to be unlikely.
They're available the same day the game is. It's
Yeah.
just
They're
whether
not
they're
really
in for
training.
fitness
No.
or tactics or stuff, so it's unlikely.
Well, it was almost a 3-back, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was at times.
Kind
I don't mind that.
No, I don't mind that either. I think especially now we're playing Germany as well, and they play 3-back where they have like
Wing backs with
Kimmich
Kimmich,
and
Gosens.
Gosens, who's been.
They've
Very
both
good.
been very
Yeah.
good, to be fair
Yeah.
to them. They have both been very
It's one of
good.
them where do you just match them and just try and beat them man for man, or do you?
I would.
Yeah.
I think, personally, I think 3-back, I feel like you've got to play to the team's strengths, and I don't think there's, even though Kane's the best
I mean,
player.
Defending is not our strength, is it, really?
Well, it is. We've got 3 clean sheets. Like
Yeah, I know, but we
I
played
think-
Croatia, Scotland, and Czech Republic. It's one of them.
It's not a real big test, is it? You know.
I get
I-
that.
you- in the last 3 games, if I look at them, I don't remember our defence having really to do anything.
No.
You know what I mean? There's been maybe 1 or 2 shots on goal. The only thing that stands out is the save that Pickford made. Was it against Scotland?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that I can think we've really been tested with, and that was kind of a bit out of nowhere.
If anything, the Scotland game, I think they had a lot more chances than us.
Yeah.
And if they had a better attacker, could have easily converted
Well,
a few.
Yeah.
I think looking at the stats from the Czech game, I think we had 5 shots, they had 7. But like we had almost 60% possession.
Oh,
So
yeah. It's one of them.
Yeah.
I mean, we've had 5 shots. They've had 7 shots, but have
I
they?
think one of them was on target.
Well, have they tested us? Is it a case of they kind of whacked it from outside the box somewhere and it's gone?
It was the Pickford
No,
save, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I think against a team like Germany, we need to, because we've seen they can concede. They conceded 2 against Hungary, they conceded 2 against Portugal, and they conceded against France.
Yep.
They will concede. They've got goals in them. As much as people say they might have a world-class defence, they have got goals in them. So with our attack, if we go out at them, the best thing to do for us is to go at them, try and score more than them, as opposed to prevent them from scoring, because we just won't. Their attack's not great in that I don't understand the whole Havertz being a striker.
Like,
They
dropped Müller, didn't they, for the
Yes,
they played Gnabry up top, didn't they? For the
I don't understand Havertz really there. I haven't watched much of Chelsea, so I don't know where he works best. But he's a midfielder for me, and I think that's probably where he works best.
I think it's quite similar to how he played in the Champions League final, in that sort of up top, but not really.
Yeah.
And to be fair to him, I don't think it's exactly been poor. I think 2-3 goals from a difficult group, better than anyone else that we've got.
I'm surprised that Müller missed out. I think Müller is probably the one that you would play in that position.
Yeah.
Obviously
Obviously
they've got Werner, they've got Kevin Volland as well.
Yeah, they're not natural goal scorers, are they? Werner he can't score to save his life.
No.
But what do we think about England's attack against the Czech Republic game? I think it was better.
Mm-hmm.
It was nowhere near where it should be, but it was better.
I like the fact that he completely changed, well, not completely changed, but brought in Grealish, brought in Saka. I still don't understand what Sancho
I don't know.
I don't understand. But at least he changed it. Although he almost had to, because Mount couldn't play.
Yeah, it's good that he's changed, but he could have very easily just sort of swapped Mount for Grealish and then that'd be it. You know what I mean? Like, it would have been very easy to do that. But he took Foden out. He says it was because he's on a yellow card. Fair enough, because he's one of the players you're going to want in the latter stages of the tournament.
Yeah. Obviously, Henderson got minutes. Sancho did come on in the end.
He did. He should have started that game for me. Even if it's a case of Southgate's not got the trust in him, he hasn't seen enough. He can't rely on him as much as for example Sterling, who he's maybe seen more of and dealt with more. Against Czech Republic, where win or lose we go through, give him a go.
I don't understand it. I think Sancho is probably, out of all of our attacking players, the best complement to Harry Kane.
Yeah, definitely.
He is the guy that will get Harry Kane the balls he needs.
He got 20 assists this season.
Exactly.
And he scored 16 goals.
He's providing for Haaland, who, he's not a direct comparison to Kane, but they're both big guys, both really good goal scorers.
Big strikers that, I think if Kane did a bit more what Haaland did, which is kind of stay within the width of the 18-yard box and be like what you would call an old-fashioned striker, he'd score more goals. I don't know if he would have scored more had he done that now, because like we say, our attacking play hasn't been amazing, but that's what he needs to do for him to score more goals. I've said it before, I'll say it again, I don't like him dropping deep all the time. I don't think it helps England. I don't think there's any need for it.
It baffles me seeing him, collect the ball in front of the centre-backs when you think, we've got players there that can drop instead of him.
Exactly.
I know he likes to drop, but to that extent, halfway line, when we're building up an attack, you kind of want him, ready to be in the box. He's not the fastest. He's not going to make up the ground.
So let's just say, for argument's sake, we play a 4-back against Germany. We kind of talked about the front four. What would the front four be? So Kane leading the line.
Kane would have to be in there.
I personally would play. I think Sterling. I mentioned Sterling, but I think Sterling will play again.
I think he will play. He won't be in mine because he scored our only 2 goals, but that's all he's done. And someone at a different time made the argument to me that if he went on the pitch, we wouldn't have scored those goals, and which you could argue for. But I also maintain that if he wasn't on the pitch, someone else would have been where he was to score the goals, because they weren't. It wasn't like it was all instinct. It's places where the players are going to be. Someone put a cross into the box, and he was in the box to score the goal, and he was running through to score the goal for Phillips. So it's kind of, I think those goals would have been scored anyway.
Yeah.
It's never going to happen with it's all hypothetical. But I'd be taking him out. I think he will play.
So if it was you picking a team, would you push out Grealish onto the left?
I don't know. I've always said I want Foden in that sort of cam 10 role with a bit of freedom, but we've not seen that. I don't know if I would do that in the round of 16, having not done it in the group stages.
Okay.
I would probably leave Grealish in the 10, bring on maybe put Rashford instead of Sterling. Rashford has not been great this season, But I think given how poor for me Sterling has been, I think he needs to start. Rashford needs to start above him. Yeah. I think, and then I'll have Sancho on the right, Kane up front.
Personally, for me, I think he'll stick to a similar front four. I think it'll be Kane. I think Sterling will start on the left. I think Grealish will start in the middle. Personally, and I think it'll probably be Foden.
I think Foden will come
back into Saka. Yeah. Not that Saka did anything wrong. I just think Saka had a decent game. I just think Foden.
But what I did notice, and I do like about having Saka in the team, is that
it's just pace as well.
It's pace. You can play him as a right winger, and if you want, you don't have to make any personnel changes like that. You can play a 5 back.
True.
Yeah. You know what I mean? You can just go back. Walker,
especially that's the benefit of saying Walker right back.
Yeah.
You can just a very minor change, no personnel. It's a 5 back, and then so you go 2-0 up, you go bang 5 back, done. You try then and not concede.
Dylan, what's your front four?
It's difficult. If it was me, I wouldn't be doing a 4.
Okay.
I'd be going a 5 back, and then I'd be going Kane, Sancho, Grealish on the left.
Yeah.
I'd then have the fullbacks. I think it's harsh for Walker to be dropped, but in the system, I don't think he's the best option as a wing back.
So you would even play him as centre half?
No.
Okay.
I'd go James. I'd then go Mings, Maguire, Stones. Yeah. I think Mings hasn't done anything wrong to be dropped. I think we know that Maguire has to come back in, but I think getting rid of Mings is potentially a bit harsh.
There's definitely a case to have Mings in the squad.
Yeah,
I completely agree with you because he's done nothing wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Admittedly, he's not had a lot to do, but he hasn't done anything wrong. And when a defender doesn't have much to do throughout a game, it's easier to make mistakes because you're not as sharp, you're not with it, you're not having to deal with the chances all the time.
Yeah.
But I do think that Walker has to play. He's got experience playing in the 3. He's got the pace that helps at centre half or right-sided centre half sort of thing that will complement Maguire better than Mings, who is faster than Maguire but still not very fast.
Yeah.
But no, I
don't not like that team. I think. What's your thoughts on? So I would play a 4-2-3-1 again. I think Rice starts. Phillips obviously was outstanding in the first game. He hasn't really
didn't do anything in the next 2.
He hasn't been bad, but he just hasn't been to the same level.
No.
Personally, I'm playing Rice and Henderson against Germany. I think Henderson came back 30 minutes. He's got experience of big games, big Champions League games with Liverpool now.
He will help in that midfield.
Personally, I'm picking Rice and Henderson, and then because Phillips isn't in the starting lineup, Phillips isn't in my squad.
Yeah, same.
So
I agree with that.
I don't think you have Phillips to come on. You have Bellingham.
Bellingham to come on, definitely.
You don't have Phillips come on. So
definitely.
That's nothing on Phillips. I just think he's not an impact player off the bench.
No. Maybe you bring him on if you want to protect the lead. Maybe, but even then, I'd still bring on Bellingham because I think they've got the same defensive capabilities. And then if you do concede, Bellingham's got more going forward if you want to try and get another goal.
Yeah, I think you're better off having Bellingham on the bench.
If you had to have like a very limited bench, you couldn't have the 23. You would I would definitely be picking Bellingham over Phillips, as I think most people would.
I think obviously depending on they might not even name Mount and Chilwell on the bench. You don't know. So it might not be an issue. But that's where I go with the defensive midfielders. So Dylan, what was your? So you're playing 3. You're playing 3 up front.
3. So it's a 3-5-2.
So what would your?
3-4-3.
What would your?
Bit controversial.
2 midfielders be?
Henderson, Bellingham.
Okay.
I think Phillips had a great first game, and then he's dropped off a bit. I feel like Rice, as good as he is, I don't think I've noticed him doing enough in the games, and that's a bit of a compliment to him because in his role, he doesn't really need to be, But I feel like the progressive play that Henderson and Bellingham can bring, they're both quite big. They're both kind of box to box.
Yeah.
I feel like with a 3 back, you don't necessarily need to have all that defensive pressure.
No, that's true.
I think it's a bit more progressive, and I think Henderson brings a leadership quality that the midfield has just been lacking as of late. And Bellingham, it's pretty much just because I think as a talent, he's not had his chance to shine yet. And I think if we started him in a game, especially against someone like Germany, I think it could be perfect. I think he could.
Fair enough.
Is it just a bit of an issue though? But Bellingham's first start is against
Yeah,
Germany.
that's what I was thinking.
I don't think like I think it's one of them. Either he's best on the pitch, or he's going to be one of them that goes into his shell. Like he's done it.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he hasn't done it before, because he has. Like Dortmund and City in the Champions League.
Yeah,
definitely.
But I think
I
don't think Southgate will risk starting Bellingham.
I know what you're saying. I'd like to see Bellingham start, but it's the same as kind of sort of like Paddy says there, is that you're dropping him very much in at the deep end against Germany, a good side in this tournament. England's, we've never had success really against Germany in tournaments. It's a lot of pressure on his shoulders, because he will, if Southgate plays him, Southgate will be telling him to play a more defensive role.
True.
He won't have the freedom to go forward as maybe he does for someone like Dortmund. So it might be that he's kind of pushed a bit out of his comfort zone by not being able to do what he does best.
I think
I'd bring him on at a 60, 70 minute mark if we need a goal, or if we want to sit, if we're drawing, if we want to sit and hold, because he adds more going forward. He is solid defensively, but I think I would probably start Rice and then Henderson. I think
I think it's one of them. If Bellingham had have started against the Czechs,
then maybe.
Then I think I would go with that.
Yeah.
He's had that start. He's had one game to get into the tournament properly. I think just hitting that Germany game.
Yeah, it's a tough game to be thrown into.
Yeah.
If anything, looking ahead of Germany, if we beat them, there's a run of teams there potentially leading up to the final that are
but
practically easier than Germany.
But at the same time, you don't want to.
Think about that.
You don't want to be like, well, they're an easy side, so we'll put our B team up. As soon as you do that, you get beat.
Yeah.
So, I can't see Bellingham starting a game for the rest of the tournament now. As much as I'd like to, I don't think it'll happen, because he's not played in the group stages enough. He might come on for the last 20 minutes. Even that, I think, is probably going to be only if we're winning by a few.
Or we're losing by a few.
Or we're losing by a few and there's nothing to lose, kind of thing.
Yeah. I
think he'll probably, over the rest of the tournament, he'll get half hour maybe.
Yeah.
I think he deserves more, he should get more. But Southgate being what he is, I don't think he'll get that.
That's a good point.
Should we start to move on to the other games?
So the rest of the group games, we have Group A, Italy 1, Wales 0, Switzerland 3, Turkey 1. Paddy, let's start and talk about your dark horse, shall we?
Oh yeah,
so might have your dark horse.
It was Turkey, mate.
It was Turkey, was it? Right. Where did they come in the end?
They came bottom of their group. They scored a total of 1 goal throughout the tournament.
Joint lowest scoring team.
Yeah, I mean,
along with many others.
I don't know what happened there. I
they just didn't show up.
Genuinely don't know what to say.
Fair enough. Macedonia outscored them, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yes, I think
Hungary
they
did
did.
as well.
Nice.
So yeah, I think don't listen to my opinions on the podcast.
No, Italy beat Wales. That was a okay game, relatively boring.
It was quite a dead game, really. Wasn't it?
Neither team. Wales needed to just not lose by a lot.
Yeah.
Italy were qualified anyway, so kind of nothing to lose for both teams.
Glad Switzerland went through, to be honest.
Yeah.
Then Group B, we had Belgium, Finland, was it?
Yes, Belgium, Finland. Belgium won 2-0, and then the other game, Group B, was Russia 1, Denmark 4. Belgium, easy group winners. Three wins out of 3.
Denmark went through.
Yeah, glad Denmark went through after that. That was a crazy few minutes for those 2 games.
Yeah.
I mean, nothing was going on. It was Finland was safe going through the point, and Denmark were losing. Yeah. And then Denmark drew, and then Finland was still okay going through with a point based on goal difference. And
I do love the fact.
Yeah.
Love the fact. We'll talk about this more later with the Group F, but when. It's just so good when the games go off at the same time.
You just don't know what's going on. It's all up in the air. But no, that was a good. I was a bit gutted for Finland not going through.
Yeah.
Because they did quite well-ish. You could argue. I mean, maybe they got lucky with their win against Denmark. Who knows? I don't know what it was. I felt a bit sorry for them.
Group C,
you had Netherlands 3, North Macedonia 0, Ukraine 0, Austria 1. They did. They look okay, but. They're very much, again, I think they're a team that need a few chances to score.
But I think the way they play 3-back as well, don't they?
Yeah.
Dumfries and Van Aanholt.
Wing backs.
I think
Dumfries looks very good at the moment.
I think Netherlands, who's their game in the round of 16?
They're playing Czech Republic. So they should be winning that relatively straightforward.
Yeah, I think Netherlands might do pretty well in this tournament, to be honest.
I think
what the best player that I've seen in their team, Wijnaldum plays
Playing further
he
forward,
plays so much further forward than he did for
it
Liverpool.
makes
yeah.
it's just so much better.
I get why he plays where he does for Liverpool because of the players they've got ahead of him. But in that Netherlands team, he looks so good. He looks a different player.
But their real test, if they get through the last 16, as they should, will be the quarters where they play Belgium or Portugal.
Yeah.
Portugal, obviously, current European Championship holders. Belgium, number 1 ranked team. So
I don't think they get past the quarters.
I wouldn't say I don't think they do.
I think
they're very prone to conceding a goal.
Yeah.
And to score a goal, they need a few chances.
I think if Van Dijk's fit, I think that they're potential tournament winners.
Yeah,
I think
I wouldn't.
Does it make that much difference to that side?
One of the best defenders in the world.
Yeah,
They've been leaking goals against Ukraine.
No,
you can't go forward in the tournament if you're conceding 2 to Ukraine.
Yeah, that's very true. That's very true. No, I agree with that.
Group D.
Group D, we had England as we've spoken about, and Croatia 3, Scotland 1.
Yeah.
So gutted about that. So gutted. I mean, Croatia Scotland, I would say that game is probably about on par levels of team. Croatia maybe a little bit better, but
Was
it's
it
one of them.
3-1 was it?
3-1, yeah. I think
3-1, yeah.
they're about level teams, I would
I
say.
don't think they are. I think Croatia are better.
They're a little bit better. They're not anything special.
Croatia are overrated, but they're still considerably better than Scotland are.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Group E, we had Spain 5, Slovakia 0, big shock, and Sweden 3, Poland 2.
So the fact that you've just said big shock,
big shock.
Spain
Yeah.
5-0.
I say big shock.
That's how bad Spain is.
Yeah.
To be honest, I'm almost not surprised at that result because as poor as Spain have been, they've dominated every game they've played. They just haven't clicked.
They've just got more.
I think
he just can't score.
I didn't watch the game, but I think what happened there is that Slovakia needed to win, so had to go out. So it was easier for Spain to get through the gaps they needed.
It was done.
Yeah.
But I know we've criticised Spain, but I think that was the result they've almost waited to happen because they haven't been playing that badly. They just haven't created much. They've been a bit like England.
Yeah.
It hasn't clicked for them yet, but they have been dominating games.
Yeah,
so
true.
I think Spain were my flop, but who are they playing in the next round?
They have got Croatia, so they should be winning that. But
that's an interesting game. I think, Spain, Croatia.
I think the issue comes they've got France after that.
Yes, they've probably got France or Switzerland after that. Yeah, probably France.
Spain, Croatia is that's an interesting game. I couldn't call that game.
No, if you look at it on paper, I think it's Spain.
Mm-hmm.
But the way Spain are playing, they can't break teams down. Croatia may well sit back, try and soak up the pressure, get a goal on the break, and then Spain are buggered, have to try and get, and then Croatia get another one. I don't know. It's going to be an interesting game, that's for sure. And then Group F. Wow, Group F.
What a day that was.
Germany 2, Hungary 2, Portugal 2, France 2.
Yeah, I mean
there were points we were playing Hungary. There were points we were playing Portugal.
We were playing all 3 or 4 teams in that group.
It's crazy. I think I'd rather play Portugal over Germany, but obviously we're not playing France, so
but France.
No,
I'm not as scared of France as I was coming into the tournament. They can quite easily leak goals, as you can see. I know they kept a clean sheet against Germany, but they leaked
penalties, though, wasn't it?
2 against Portugal. Oh yeah, I know, but
just quickly, what was your thoughts on the Lloris penalty?
Lloris was correct. What was it? Mbappe getting fouled by Semedo was criminal.
That was not.
That was not.
The 2 Portugal penalties. I didn't see the second one. The first one was a Stonewall penalty.
Yeah.
The Lloris one.
I think he makes contact with the ball first for sure, but he follows through with the elbow, and that's just dangerous.
And I think if you transfer that over to someone makes a sliding tackle, sort of studs up. It's not, is it? If they nick the ball and then they get the leg, that's a foul.
Like keepers are often
overprotected.
Yeah, I get that, but just because. I'm not even sure if Lloris got the ball first, to be honest.
I don't think he did. I think it came off the head of the defender onto his fist, and then he followed through.
I think it's going to sound stupid, but if his head wasn't there, he would have got the ball.
Well, yeah, he would.
That sounds stupid.
The fact that his head was there was why it was a foul.
But I think if If it's a penalty, then it's a red card. Like, why is it yellow?
Well, no, because he's gone for the ball. The same
Yeah.
way.
It doesn't matter
that-
if he's gone for the ball. Why does it matter if he's gone
I
for the
think-
ball?
Because that's the rule. With a
Just the
penalty.
goalkeepers.
No, for penalties.
I
if
think it's the new
if it's a
double
goal
standard
scoring,
thing,
if it's a
yeah.
goal scoring opportunity and you try and get the ball, you don't.
Okay, that's
It's a yellow. If you don't, so for example, if we take it back to when Man United beat Southampton 9-0, Martial gets a penalty for Bednarek and he's like that behind him, but he clips him,
Yeah.
and that's even though he only slightly nicks him, it's a red card because it was a goal scoring opportunity, but he didn't go for the ball.
Okay, I get that.
So because he went for the ball, he didn't. If he'd walked out and just gone whack, you can have one of them. That'd obviously been a red card.
What Lloris did.
But because he was
Yeah.
going for the ball,
I think the Semedo one was very. I think it's one of those. Whatever the referee gives,
it's not going to be overturned.
Yeah.
I think from that you can see that. You can see that VAR needs to be changed slightly, in my opinion, in line with the TMO in rugby.
Let's not get into that now.
Oh, I just going to mention it, and I think it would be best if, for example, the referee gives a penalty and then goes, "I'm going to give a penalty, but I'm going to go to the screen and review it to make sure my decision is correct because I'm not 100% certain."
So what you're saying that's without any input from anyone else. The ref.
Yeah, the ref himself goes, "I'm not sure on that, so I'm going to give a penalty, and then I'm going to go and review it."
Well, I think you're right, but I think that's the right thing to do. But he doesn't give a penalty to start with. I think he just blows the whistle and says, "Right, on the checklist."
Yeah,
If he gives a penalty first.
So then, if he doesn't give a penalty, what do you do then?
Well, no, just say
He's reviewed it.
No, just
No,
say,
but as in, how do you restart the game if he doesn't give a penalty?
well, no, you let it go out first or whatever. If a penalty happens, normally it goes out for keeper has it in his hands or just do a drop.
Yeah,
ball or something.
okay.
Like, it's not like it's an open play, is it really?
Well, I don't know. But anyway, yeah. No, I see what you mean.
I think-
Somehow the player stopped, the ref goes, "I'm not sure on that, I'm going to review it." I don't think you need VAR looking at it going, "Yes, go and look at it." No, don't go and look at it. I think with the TMO it should be when the TMO says, "I've got this for you, have a look at it," and they put it on the big screen. Admittedly, put it on the big screen won't work. Go into the little monitor would work. The ref goes, he blows up, goes, "I'm not sure about that." Or even if they have it in the thingy, instead of VAR telling the ref to check it, the ref goes, "Can you have a look at that?" Because I don't think they can do it. I think if the ref there doesn't give a penalty and goes, "Just have a look at that," because I'm not sure. And then if VAR think it's a penalty or they're not sure, they send the ref to the monitor.
I think the thing is, I think VAR just literally checks like almost everything without us even knowing about it.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like we might not hear about it,
Maybe.
but often you'll see a decision that is clearly a Stonewall, not a penalty or something, and they'll go and they're checking it anyway.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying, but
the thing that doesn't work, I think, is the clear and obvious error bit.
yeah, I agree with that.
That doesn't work. It should be able to give the refs more opportunity to go, "I don't know."
But then you're undermining the referees. I think that's the issue that UEFA, FIFA, whatever, they don't want. They don't want every decision being overturned.
No, but it wouldn't be overturned. It would still be the same referee making the decision. They go, "I don't really know what happened there," because he was saying that Semedo pushed him, which he didn't. But I mean, if he 100% went, "Yes, he pushed him, that's a penalty," then he wouldn't have reviewed it anyway. But I think in that instance, the ref's a bit like, "Oh, I'm not really sure," because he blew his whistle. He didn't really know what to do. He left it a few seconds and then pointed to the spot. So to me, that looked as, "Oh, I think that's a penalty. I'm not really sure. Yeah, okay, let's go with penalty." Whereas if he goes, "I'm going to stop the play there. I'm not sure." A bit like where you say on-field decision try, on-field decision penalty. Is there a reason I cannot give a penalty kind of thing?
Yeah,
That's how that would work much more for me. Anyway, VAR is probably a whole other episode. Anyway.
Yeah. So going through F, it was amazing, wasn't it? Really.
Yes. It was ridiculous.
I felt so bad for Hungary. But fair play to them coming out and scoring 2 goals against Germany, 1-0 up, and as soon as Germany got that goal, I think at 1-0, they could have just lost their heads and just
and they just
immediately
scored straight away, and it's just
But that to me shows that England could go and score goals against Germany.
Yeah,
Hungary can. Admittedly, it might be that the Germans came into a different mindset of it's Hungary, like we don't need to worry as much. I don't know, but they can leak goals.
Yeah, I agree. So
we've got
looking forward on to the round of 16 games. So the first game is Saturday. I think it's Wales versus Denmark.
Yes, that is the first game.
Personally, I think Wales got a chance in that game. I think Wales, similar sort of run as they were in the other Euros previously. I think once they get a few wins together, I think Wales. I wouldn't be surprised if Wales got through out of that game. I'm not sure they will, but I wouldn't be surprised.
That's a tough game. It's a difficult one to call for me because the teams are about the same level. I think it could go.
I think on paper Denmark are a better team.
Yes. I would say, I think that Wales actually potentially could have won against Italy. I think Bell had that sitter at the end with the volley.
Yeah,
where he was wide
They should have
open.
scored
Been
that.
played
That was
in Amsterdam that game.
Okay.
Ooh. I think there was the red card for Ampadu, which I don't think was a red. It was a harsh one. You could see it going either way. Personally, for me, it wasn't.
Yeah.
I think that's one that's normally not a red, but at the start of every game, UEFA have said to officials, players, anything like that is a red card.
Yeah.
As long as they're consistent, then
Yeah.
Then it's fine.
But I think at 10 men, that changes the complete layout of the
Yeah,
game. And I think if it was 11 versus 11 for the 90 minutes, I think Wales could have been a lot more.
hit the point or.
I don't think they needed anything.
Well, it was
out
one
of
of
the
them
game,
games they didn't have to. Did they?
but I think they could have potentially taken it to Italy. I think that Wales versus Denmark, I think Wales win it.
So you're saying
Margins. I think I'm saying Wales.
One word Wales. Keane, one word.
Denmark.
I'm going
One word, quick, come on.
Wales.
Come on. Okay, Wales.
Okay, Italy,
Italy,
Austria. Also
That
Saturday night.
Should be.
And that is at Wembley.
That should be a straightforward victory for
Yeah.
Italy.
Yeah.
I mean, Austria are a good side, but Italy are
Yeah,
that
I'm
much
saying
better for me.
Italy 3-0.
I wouldn't disagree.
I'll go
3-1
2-0.
maybe.
2-0,
They
yeah.
haven't conceded yet, have they, Italy?
No. The next game we've got is Netherlands versus Czech Republic.
I think Netherlands will go through. I think that might be quite a high scoring game. I'm going to go maybe a 3-2 Netherlands.
Yeah, I think Netherlands can concede, and I think Czech Republic will go for it. They won't sit back and try and score on the break. They won't be like, oh, we're wet, cautious of Netherlands. I don't think they've been like that the whole tournament.
Yeah.
I think they'll just go for it. Just go ahead and go for it. Netherlands, I think they need a few chances to score. I think they can lead goals, so yeah, it could be a high scoring game, but I do think they should be winning it anyway.
Dylan?
Netherlands.
Netherlands? Yeah, convincingly or?
Close game, but I think the scoreline won't really reflect it. I think Netherlands 3-0.
I agree.
Yeah, fair.
Belgium, Portugal, and that game is being played in Seville.
This is
That's a tough game, but
yeah.
I'm going with Portugal.
I'm going Portugal as well.
Because Belgium, everyone hails them as this great side and the number one ranked team in the world, blah, blah, blah. I haven't seen it yet. They've played some average teams in their group. They have Denmark, Finland and Russia. Denmark are an okay side, but they've not looked amazing against any of them. I mean, Lukaku, people again hail him as one of the best strikers. Most of his chances and his goals seem to be hyped up so much. I was watching his one against Finland.
I disagree as well.
I was watching his one against Finland and they go, oh no, two keepers aren't saving that. It was about that far away from the keeper's hand and I'm like, two keepers had easily saved that.
I'm saying Belgium win the game.
I think Portugal win the game, but I think what you're saying about Lukaku is unfair. I think Lukaku is genuinely one of the best strikers in world football.
Lukaku,
he's a good striker. I don't think he's one of the best in world football.
After this round, after they win, I think Lukaku's top goal scorer. Ronaldo's his competition, in my opinion.
I think the fact that Portugal...
One of them goes out.
I think the fact that Portugal have come out of a group having already played Germany and France, I think that helps them.
Yes. Because they've always had to be up there.
Yeah.
They haven't ever had the chance to slack off.
I think Portugal go throughout that game, personally.
I think Belgium played to Lukaku's strengths. I think Lukaku has a great game. I would say 3-1 Belgium.
I think that'll be a high scoring game. I'm saying
3-2
or 4-3 Portugal because both defences are poor.
Yeah.
And both attack is much better than the opposition's defence. I think Ronaldo will win the Golden Boot now. Even if
he's top 5 now, isn't he?
Yeah. Even if he goes out in that game, I can still see him probably winning the Golden Boot.
I agree.
Keane won in the World Cup with 6, so
yeah. And that's when an extra game was on now, I think.
Yeah.
So, Croatia versus Spain. That is on Monday night at 5 o'clock, and that has been played in Copenhagen. I think that's
a very close
game. We said
now.
before, I think that's one of the toughest games to predict.
Cool, yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
I think Spain might just nick it at 1-0 or something, but I wouldn't be surprised.
It'll be a tight game, and the scoreline will reflect it. But I don't know.
I wouldn't be surprised if
Spain can't seem to break down teams that sit back, and I think Croatia will.
I think that is one of the games as well that could go extra time penalties.
I can see that. I think Croatia rely on their midfield a lot, and I think Spain, probably one of the best areas of their team is their midfield.
Yeah.
I think they have the potential to shut down Croatia's midfield, but again, they've not really shown much going forward.
I think
this tournament
that is going to be a game of whoever's midfield comes out on top win the game.
Yeah.
I do think that could be the first one to go to penalties.
I'd agree with that.
So Monday night as well,
Switzerland.
France, Switzerland in Bucharest.
France should be winning that easy.
Yeah.
Switzerland's the sweet take team, but
Switzerland look poor for me.
France, it's got to be France, isn't
Yeah.
Convincingly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
3-0. I don't think Switzerland will score against them.
So the big
The
one,
big one.
Tuesday night at Wembley.
Germany, England. Well, I mean, our record in tournaments of them has not been very good. Since in tournaments, Germany since '96 have not got further than in the Euros. They've not got further than the semi-finals. Doesn't really mean anything, but they're a bit. We last played them in the 2010 World Cup where we had a 4-1 loss. Lampard's goal wasn't a goal. That was the last time we played them. The last competitive win was a 5-1 victory in World Cup qualifier in 2001 for the 2002 World Cup. Yeah, Michael Owen.
Patrick.
And last one in the tournament was when we won 1-0 in the 2000 Euros. And neither team got out of the group that year.
Just
So it didn't really matter.
just quickly, did you know that the game against Croatia, that was our first ever time we've won the first game of the Euros?
Yeah.
That's mad.
It's just crazy. But yeah, we beat them in Euro 2000,
Great
and neither
start,
England
man.
or
Great
Germany
start.
got out of the group. Yeah, great start. And the '96 semi-final, obviously, we drew 1-1 and lost 6-5 on penalties, Mr. Southgate.
So what, I am going
But Germany went on to win that year, so maybe that's okay.
England, Germany at Wembley. I am saying England will win 2-1 in extra time.
2-1 in extra time.
Don't think the nerves can take that.
Oh, flipping heck. I as much as I don't want it to go to penalties, I also kind of want it to go to
If
penalties.
England win a penalty,
yeah.
that would
win,
be so good.
That would be that.
That would be
If
better
we win
than-
that and go out the next round, I don't even care.
Beat
'Cause
Germany in
we've-
penalties.
Yeah, that would just it would end. I think that then going if we then go and play Germany in the World Cup in the knockout group, it wouldn't be anywhere near the same. It'd be like, oh, they're not the rival that we think they are.
Yeah.
You know, there's not this history. We beat them last time. Like, who cares anymore? Because I was hearing on the radio, they were talking to Germans. They were like, yeah, our biggest rival is probably like Netherlands, Holland, places like that. Like, we don't really give a shit about England. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, we don't shut up about Germany.
So what's your prediction for the score?
Needless optimist in me. 2-0 England.
2-0 England? I reckon that, Dylan. Come again.
I think. Yeah, I'm going in normal time. 2-0 or 2-1 England.
I love that. All three of us on England.
Yeah, well, we've got our hope.
Yeah,
We've got our hope, otherwise we'll all just.
If only
start
Josh
crying.
in there, it'd be like 5-0 England.
Probably.
Kane hat-trick.
I do think Kane will score. I
On
think
that,
he'll.
I think we got a penalty.
alive.
On that, quick question. Based on how Kane has been, would you have Kane, right, for this tournament, games going forward, would you have Kane now or Shearer? Obviously not now.
It's not even
in
a
his
question
prime.
for me.
Who would you have?
Shearer. I'd have him at Premier League, national.
Yeah.
anywhere.
Fine. Who would you have?
Personally, I couldn't answer that question because I don't really know. I haven't watched Shearer
Fair.
much. So
I'd have Shearer, but there's one person I'd have over the two of them.
Rooney.
In their prime, that'd be Wayne Rooney. I don't think you can
Rooney
look
is
past him.
fine.
He's England's best player that we've ever had, I think. Definitely best striker without a shadow of a doubt. Probably, I would say best player.
Charlton?
Yeah, he was. Oh well, I can't.
That's what
We won the World Cup. That's about all I know about him. Do you know what I mean? But I still think Rooney's been. He's definitely our best forward. There's no two ways about it. I think.
I think Rooney on his day is scarily good.
Yes. When he was younger, with his pace, his finishing, I think he's much better than Kane.
I think they're different players though.
Yeah,
I
completely.
think Kane is an out-and-out goal scorer. I think
So Rooney for United, he's played on the wing and stuff. I mean,
Yeah.
Well, no, it's not just that. I think Rooney's more.
more creative.
Yeah, but
But then
Rooney's
Kane's
also,
just got the most assists in the
Yeah,
Premier League.
true.
So
I think Rooney's more. I wouldn't be
come on,
scared.
we're waiting in anticipation.
I wouldn't be scared of Kane. I'd be scared of Rooney. Do you know
I
what
know
I
what
mean?
you mean.
Like,
Because Rooney's more of a bastard, isn't he?
I feel like Kane scores goals. Don't get me wrong, but I think Rooney scores goals. You just think, wow.
Yeah.
Rooney. If you're centre half,
There's a chant there, mate.
Yeah.
if you're playing the centre half against Rooney, you know he's there, even if he's not on the ball.
Here we go. Kane's off his feet.
Yeah.
No, that's not what I mean. Even if he's not on the ball, Rooney will. I think he lets you know he's there. He's always on you. Whereas Kane, not so much. I think you're right.
You get lost in games, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
there's not that.
But at the same
scare
time,
factor.
I think if Kane's a better finisher than Rooney,
Yes.
but I think Rooney just creates something out of nothing.
Kane.
How many
Rooney
times-
doesn't need the service that
Like,
Kane does.
Just think, Kane scores goals, but how many of Kane's goals do you think that's a worldie? Like Rooney, Newcastle volley, Man City overhead kick.
Was it the whole volley? Or was it? Is that
Yeah.
one you're on about when he
Free
had to
kick.
go at the ref?
I think
Yeah,
Kane
yeah.
could claim some
Yeah,
pretty
yeah.
good. I think you think about something the
He's got a few
game
goals outside the box. I mean,
against Arsenal, the one
Yeah.
where it was practically from the corner.
Kane's just in the 18-yard box. Kane is second to none. I think.
Yeah,
Yeah. But Rooney's the more rounded player.
So Dylan score. What did you say?
2-0.
2-0. You said
I
2.
went 2-0 or 2-1.
I'm going 2-1 in extra time.
Can't
Last game of the knockouts.
Sweden versus Ukraine.
Sweden. Go on, Keane, tell us.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it's probably going to be a boring game.
Oh, God.
I think it'll be just a dull game, a 1-0 win for someone I don't know who, I don't care who. Obviously, we play them in the quarterfinals.
If we go through.
You are
If we
going to
get
be
through.
livid when we come up against Sweden and they knock us
And
out
then-
1-0.
in extra
Sit
time.
back all game.
Yeah, probably will happen, but who knows?
Yeah, I think Sweden win that game. I think
Probably.
my player to watch, Isaac, he's had a good tournament. I don't think he scored yet, but he's had a.
But then Ukraine can come out and score goals.
But Ukraine also got a decent team. Yarmolenko,
Yarmolenko.
Marachuk or
Whatever the striker's name is, yeah. You're Enchuk or something like that.
And Sweden, the Forsberg scored twice then, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think Sweden win that day. I think that might be good.
I don't think they'll play the way they did against Spain because Ukraine are that lower side.
No.
Sweden there, I think, are the favourites, and they will go out to try and win the game.
I think both teams have a chance though in that game.
Yeah.
And if Sweden do that, it might be a high scoring game, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't recall it.
So, do you want to give us your stats?
My facts,
Is it a story today?
facts,
Is it was
story
it?
type thing.
Should we just change it to a story? Because
I think you should.
If you want.
you've given enough stats throughout the episode.
Yeah,
let's
we
just,
can do
let's
that.
just change it to the
We can
story
do
of the
that.
day.
So, October 1998, there's a match going on in the Democratic Republic of Congo,
Oh yeah.
and an entire team are killed by lightning.
Sorry.
Sorry, what?
11 players on the pitch are killed by lightning.
That's not.
I don't really know what
Lovely
happens. It's
end.
not. So, got to get this right now. Benna to Shadi,
Oh yeah.
with the team playing against local rivals Basangana, and all 11 players on the pitch of Benna to Shadi as well were killed. 30 others were injured, but none of the opposition were killed. They were all fine.
So only the players from that one team.
Yes, they're only players from one team. It was going on at the time. It was going on during the Civil War, so no one really knows what happened. So it could be anything really. It could be something a bit dodgy.
The old lightning strike.
Yeah, that lightning strike that killed just one team. Yeah, that is my story,
It's
if you like.
morbid
It is.
story, isn't it?
Yeah, a
Jesus.
bit of
Really
a poor
go-
note
go better one
bad
next week.
note to end on, but hey ho. Right, that's been episode 5.
Beers. Well, I've drank mine. You two
Beers.
haven't really. I think I couldn't have more than one of them. They're a bit sweet.
I'd agree.
I'm not. Dylan, I rate the.
I like the
I
fact
rate the originality.
Yeah, I rate
and
that.
You've gone for something completely out there.
I think normally, I think it was a bit warm as well. I think I'd like it a bit colder.
Yeah,
personally, but that's
for
not,
me,
that's
yeah.
not on you. I would normally
What
give
you
it. I would give it a 5 because it's original. Never had it before. It's a 7, Dylan.
Strong. I like that.
for taste, for me it's about a 3.
I think that's harsh.
So for me, it just doesn't taste great. But yeah, the originality, the effort, I'm giving it at least a steady 6. I'm going with a steady 6.
I'm going to go 7-7.
77.
7.7.
So,
7.7.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
All right.
next episode will be
Around a 16 review. Hopefully, it'll be a happy one.
probably Wednesday next week.
Yes.
It might be a special 10-minute episodes around in the
There
summer
might be.
before.
There might be. We'll
You never
see.
know.
Hopefully,
Keep
it'll
your
be a
eyes
happy one.
on the social media.
Yeah, keep your eyes on social media. Keep up to date. Get following if you haven't. YouTube, Spotify, Instagram, TikTok, wherever you're listening on. It's everywhere. Give us a like, give us a follow, share it to your mates. Let's get this rolling.
It's coming home.
It's
Nice
coming
one.
home.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers, guys.